Hey,
Hey, buddy. How are you?
how you doing, man?
I'm doing
Good,
good. Wow, that
good.
that green screen backdrop you have is really realistic.
I know it's got so much texture. This is
So
amazing.
much. Wow, it's 3D. It's like a 3D green screen. I'm jealous.
How you
Where are
doing? It's like
you?
dude. I'm actually in Sudbury, Ontario, is where I am right now. Are you? So yeah, we're
That's where I
driving
want to
through and
be.
we're on a bit of a road trip, and I know are you still quarantining like out in LA? Where are you right now?
I'm out in LA. I'm uh, obviously office space, warehouse studio that I've kind of like been sprucing up over the past. It's just have a reason to be in the car, come here, do stuff, go
Yeah.
home. Yeah, it's important.
Well, you've been busy. I saw, props to you, by the way, for the magic kit that you've been raising money for COVID relief efforts through that. So that's really
Thank
cool.
you.
So,
Thank you. Yeah, that's
so
been fun.
give yourself a pat on the back for that one.
Patting on the back, creating more magicians. I'm happy to do that. How's my connection? You can hear me okay?
Yeah, you're
Oh, good.
a little fuzzy, but are you getting me okay? What's everyone saying in the
Ah,
comments? Are you getting,
you
are
look
we all
great.
coming in clear?
Hi, comments. Hi, everybody.
You're a bit, yeah.
Fast,
Yeah. Your
fast
show is
camera
amazing. It's
quality.
true. Justin, get better internet.
Ah,
Maybe it is you. I thought it was me. I'm the one in the bush right now. Uh-oh. Oh no.
I'm back. I'm on the 5G. We're both on
Oh,
the
you're back.
5G
Oh,
now.
dude.
I'm back.
Boom.
Oh, much better.
Boom. I thought that was
Isn't it
just
weird how
some like
Wi-Fi is often worse than our cell phones? Isn't that sad? What's going on?
I'm suspicious of that. I'm like, come on, yeah. Something's up. You are crystal clear right now though. This is
Good.
amazing.
Well, this is the first virtual IG live or anything I've done from the office, and I've kind of spruced it up just for you because I know you like to get a little taste of people's
Nice.
mementos and their homes and their
Yeah.
stuff, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I appreciate it, man. And we got to talk season 3 we just hit like a few weeks back. People are loving it. I just saw that they did a celebrity watch party of the show.
yeah.
That's wild, dude. Like,
That
is
was
that a
wild.
super surreal moment for you to see like Ozzy Osbourne watching your show?
Yeah, I had no idea that was happening, and then somebody sent me a link afterwards. It was very surreal. Obviously, it's cool that it's like all these random celebrities who you kind of like love, and they're like, oh my God, they're watching the show. But
Yeah.
I never get to see people watch the show, celebrity or not. So that was very satisfying. Like we do when we're making the season, we do a couple test screenings just to kind of put it in front of an audience and make sure something is funny, and we kind of listen for the laughs. But at a test screening, no one is really like fully just their guard is up. So
Yeah.
just to see people on their couch like talking smack and coming up with their theories was very satisfying. Like it was very also weird to see Steve Wozniak watch me dressed as Steve Jobs do magic,
Yeah.
ripping on Apple. I never thought that would happen.
Oh, dude. Also, there's so many cool new segments that you brought into it, the close-up magic, things like that. But also, it's strange watching it in like a COVID world now because there's so many times I'm watching your show and I'm like, oh, he's way too close. They're
Yeah.
like, what's magic gonna be like on the other side of this? Are you guys gonna have to be like, you're gonna be like 6 feet apart? The sleight of hand stuff, the card
I
tricks. How
mean,
is it gonna work? You're gonna need like binoculars? I don't know.
instead of close-up magic, we'll have to do far-away magic with like a
Yeah.
bullhorn, but I'll do like the smallest trick possible. You know, like
Yeah.
Steve Martin used to do a bit when he'd have sold out arena of 20,000 people. He said, I'm going to do a magic trick now. And he would like show a dime and he'd say, and now the date changed. And that was a joke, of course, that he would do. But I think that might be where we're headed. Listen, we're going to overcome. We'll like adapt. It will be different because
Okay.
I watched the show back and I'm like, I put stuff in my mouth a lot on the show.
No, I know that. Yeah.
And I don't know. People even before Corona were a little weirded out by it, but they're like, "What's up with your mouth? Why?" I don't know. It's fun, magic. I don't know. Saliva is magic, so that's gonna change. Borrowing people's things, people are
Uh-huh.
gonna be a little weirded out, like because I borrow a lot of people's cell phones and stuff, and I feel like Now they'll just be like, keep it, you know, I don't want it. So we'll
Well,
see.
I've had a lot of time in the van, so I come up with a few segments that maybe if you want to use them, you can use them. So
Please.
I'm just gonna softball pitch them to you here.
Okay.
So it's called Magic for Days. You start a trick, and then just 3 days later, you finally finish it.
I have some tricks that are magic for years where I'm like trying to come up with the trick and I just can't figure out what the trick is after a while. Magic for Days, I like that.
Magic for Days. There's one with a school bus, but I feel like that's already been done. A trick shot where you either do a trick, then do a shot. But I feel like, you know, we don't want to promote maybe drinking. So maybe you give people a shot at trying the trick themselves. Huh?
Ooh, but I like, you know, a la beer pong, if it's a trick shot, but I have to take a shot if I don't get it in. So therefore, if I'm trying to do some crazy behind the back basketball shot, I get drunker and therefore get worse and worse and worse. Ironically, though, I feel like the drunker you get, the less pressure you put on yourself, you actually might shoot better. I think that was in the Jordan doc. I don't know.
There's one I'm just basically going up all the times I get work in the word trick. Like tricks are for kids, where you just basically do tricks for children. Which, I feel like you have to get that cleared by the cereal company. This is maybe my possible favorite. You ride up on a horse. We call it one trick pony, and you just do a single trick on the back of a horse. Dude,
you should write for the show. I mean, that's what you're doing right now. You're not getting paid, but I do like one trick pony. That's really good. One trick pony. And it's me on just the tiniest horse.
Yep. And you just nonchalantly just pull up beside people, just hanging out, you know, and then just like, hey, you want to see something cool? And then that's it. You just gallop into the sunset.
Dude, I love it. It's badass. It's got a John Wayne thing to it. It's very kind of, it's American.
I love
coming
it.
from a Canadian. I love this. Who knew?
Well,
you'd be pitching me real true American ideas from.
If you want any of them, man, you can have them. There's some other ones on here, like, you know, hat tricks with cat tricks, where you either do hat tricks or tricks with cats. Those are tough. I mean, then there's magic for Dwayne's, because I feel like that's the male equivalent of Susan.
Is it a Dwayne? I've been trying to think
of
what that is. My buddy says it's Caleb. Magic for Dwayne. Something about like The Rock ruins that for me a little bit.
Yeah, that's
he's
true.
The coolest Dwayne. Magic for Kenny's, maybe that's it. Magic for Shane's. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll work on that. I'm so glad I picked Magic for Susan's and not Magic for Karen's. Although Magic for Karen's would be good now.
Dude, that would be, I feel like they could use a little more magic in their life to maybe, you know, brighten things up a little bit. I don't know. But,
I mean, half the trick would be spent telling her to put her mask on, you know, and then we run out of time.
Just explaining things that everyone else already knows, that you're like, okay, let me start from the beginning here.
I need you to pick a card. Why do I have to pick a card? Yeah.
How did it come to be, by the way? Where did it all, Magic for Susan? Is it just like someone named Susan one day and that's where it was born? Like, where did it?
We wanted to do these little palate cleanser mini segments between bigger ones, you know, that's what Trick Questions is. And I think we had a idea on the board early on. Just someone was like, let's do Magic for Susan's, only women named Susan. And we're like, okay, yeah, that's funny, but I hope we write something better. And we didn't. And so we put a Craigslist ad out. Let's find some Susans. And there's a lot of Susans on Craigslist who will come to meet you, not even knowing what they're doing, what the show is, for $20 and a free lunch. They'll come and film. And Susan's turned out to be the greatest thing we've ever done.
Oh, dude, I love it. When I saw it for the first time, I was like, that is. I thought almost, you know, because, you know, the Tim Heidecker connection. I'm like, that's such a Tim Heidecker thing.
Yes.
Did that factor in at all in the decision? Or
the Tim and Eric kind of tone factors kind of into everything, and obviously Magic for Susan's was the perfect chance to get that Tim and Eric touch in there, sprinkle it throughout. You don't want to go too far. You don't want it to be like, you know, I don't want people to think they're watching Tim and Eric. I love it when people at the end they tweet me and they're like, hey man, you know, your show, Tim and Eric should watch your show. They think it was really funny. And I was like, well, they produced it, you dingus.
I got a wasp.
Me too.
I don't know.
Me too. I've got some wildlife here. There's wildlife.
Oh, dude. Now,
where are you driving to, by the way? Tell me your road trip.
We are driving provinces away. We're going to be staying in campsites and whatnot. My sister's getting married in Saskatchewan. So we're going from Ontario to Saskatchewan. She's actually a fan of the show. So this is cool that we're doing this. So
Oh, great.
I had to tell her that I was like, hey, I might be a little delayed coming, but
So you're going from right to left.
Yep. Right.
Look at that. See, I know Canada.
You know everything about Canada. That's all you need to know.
I was in Canada doing shows in Vancouver and Calgary and Edmonton. Those were some of my last shows before Corona hit, and they were the best, the most fun I've ever had. It was cold, colder, coldest, but it was a great time.
That's about right. And for people who don't know how you got started, I don't know if this is real or if this is, the internet's, crazy rumors, but something about you breaking both of your arms. Is that right? Yeah. And then the doctor told you to learn magic to like help with the mobility. Is that a true story?
It's a true story. I was riding my bike when I was 12, wearing rollerblades. So I was riding my bike while I was bike blading. I fell off, obviously, broke both of my arms. I was in cast for a while, had to be rebroken, and it was a mess. My doctor saw that I kept perking up when this magician would come through the children's hospital every week. He's like, you should learn magic as physical therapy. And I took him, I don't know if he was being serious because that's like malpractice. Like that's weird advice. Yeah. But I took him seriously and I dove into magic and
was the doctor Robin Williams?
He was not. Oh, I wish.
That would be. I feel like that's very like Patch Adams like
it's
thing.
It's very Patch Adams advice, or Dr. Nick from The Simpsons. Like either way. But it worked, and I've been doing it ever since then.
And I appreciate the name, by the way. I don't know if you want to shout out your OG magic name because I appreciate a good pun. And a good little play on words.
That's a good way to start our tour here. So when I started doing magic at that age, my mom was like, you can't go by Justin Willman. No one goes by their real name in magic. Everyone has a stage name. You should be Justin Credible. So I was Justin Credible for a while. These are some of my old Justin Credible posters. Now it's in reverse, I think. Oh, I can do this here. Boom. There we go. Yeah, that's me. That's Justin Credible. Good times. With a K, just to be rebellious.
That's super. That's better. There's a Thai restaurant by my place called Taiwan On, and that totally beats it. That's
Taiwan On's pretty darn good. Or a faux restaurant called like Faux Real would be good.
I just drove by a place like literally off the highway called Dock in a Box. I think it's a play off the whole SNL.
What is it? What do they sell there?
I think camping supplies. No, I don't. Yeah, I don't.
Dock in a box?
Dock in a box.
That's a stretch.
Dock in a box.
I like it. Yeah.
We have a ton of people who've already asked questions for you. So let's just dive into a few fan questions.
Dive in.
Okay. I don't know if we can do this, but I mean, this would be ideal. This probably happens a lot when people find out you're a magician. But Liam is wanting to know, can you do a private magic trick for me? Well, for Liam and maybe us, I don't know. Can you
a private magic trick? Wow.
A private, like maybe go behind that wall behind you and
a private trick. I can do a private trick for you, Liam. And then I saw some other people asked if I could teach a trick.
Oh, yeah.
So I will do a private trick for Liam, and then I'll teach it as well. This is one of my favorite ones to teach, and this is one of the first ones I learned when I had my broken arms. It's the mystery of the silver orb. That kind of gets lighter and defies gravity. It's just like a floating silver sphere. And here's how you do it. It's a soup ladle, okay, under my watch. I used to put it in my cast when I had a broken arm. So that's a fun one. Just stick it up your sleeve or under your watch.
You have to try to explain that to TSA if you forget about it.
I know because this is a weapon. This is a blunt force object.
It's like, why do you have a soup ladle, sir? Why, out of all the things in your bag, this is a really odd item here.
And then I have to show them, but if they already know it's a soup ladle, they're not impressed, and they just think I'm, special. So there's that.
Do you get that a lot? Do people try to people always want to know
I'm
how
special?
things are done. People always want to be like, how did you do that? And people like, some of the stuff is so unbelievable. My brain can't wrap around it. I'm like, that has got to be like CG. Those are got to be actors. Like, do you get that a lot? Do you get people that are like, which I think is a compliment to your work, when people are like,
it is a compliment. It is a compliment.
It's got to be fake.
It's a compliment, but it is also like frustrating because everything in the show is like real. Obviously not real. I'm not a wizard, Harry. So So it's like real magic tricks that use sleight of hand and you know,
Yeah.
technique and gimmicks and fun things like that. No CGI and no actors. Everyone's like real people we pull off the streets. In LA, unfortunately, half the people you pull off the street are out of work actors. But yeah, I take it as a compliment. People watch magic and they want to, some people want to be fooled. They want to suspend their disbelief and they don't even want to think about how it works. That's great. But other people like see magic and they really can't sleep unless they figure it out. And I think it's entertaining for both types of people for different reasons. I was a skeptic. I wanted to know. That's why I became a magician. So
I remember growing up, there was the show on, I think Fox aired it, about the magician that went on and like did the whole reveal and how all the magic tricks were done, like the masked magician.
The masked magician. And now all magicians are masked, you know? So it's amazing how things change. Thanks, Corona.
Little COVID joke there.
A little COVID joke, a little topical one. Yeah, the masked magician. That I felt was, you know, obviously a little bit of a cheap shot at magic, because magic shouldn't just be about how the trick works. Like that's why I kind of like on the show always doing magic for the purpose of exploring an idea or an experiment or something, just so it's about something else. You know, I feel like magic is strong enough to be used as a metaphor and exploratory device to find truths about humanity, if possible.
Yeah, that's what I love about your show. Like, it's always so like thematic. There are always themes in every episode, and you're so down to earth in the way you approach people. It's not like, I think it's really kind of changing people's perspective on like street magic and stuff, because we're so used to seeing, you know, the David Blaine and the Chris Angel and all this stuff, but like you've got this such a cool, fresh approach, which I think is why people love the show so much. Well,
thank you. Yeah, I mean, and I love David Blaine. I mean,
yeah.
He changed the game, I was excited to kind of really try to do something new, you know, and it might fail. That's the thing. I mean, I think any people ask for advice or whatnot, I always think, looking back, I was like, you got to do the thing that kind of scares you. You got to do the thing that really either could be the greatest thing or could be awful, and you really don't know. Like, the best ideas and the worst ideas all kind of sound ridiculous at first, and you got to try it. So yeah.
Are there ever some days that you wish you were wearing a cloak? You're like, maybe just for a second you could put a cloak on.
Sometimes, I mean,
a fog
I
machine.
wouldn't have to worry about the rest of the outfit. If you have a cloak, it kind of, that's your look.
That's true. Anne wants to know, how are you planning to top yourself in your next upcoming seasons? How are you going to up the game? Because I feel like we've seen these seasons, they've been quick. Like, we just saw 2 and 3's out. So, I mean, where do we go from 3 to 4? What's up?
I know, it's hard. We're trying to figure that out. I mean, because, you know, writing all the magic for the show, like, there's so much R&D, and I've got like a team of magic geniuses, and you know, many of them I've been friends with for like 20 years. And yeah, we've kind of squeezed the sponge pretty dry. And I feel like what we might do is try to explore like deeper dives, like, you know, entire episodes or an entire special that's like a deeper dive into one idea, just to see how nitty gritty and, you know, how much fun we can have. Still, Susans. We got to still find more Susans.
And I mean, and then the pony thing will help a lot too, I think. For
One Trick Pony, I feel like that's worth at least 90 seconds of airtime. So we're down to what, 28 to go.
Yeah,
28 minutes to go.
That's a free one for you. You can have it.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You take it.
Okay.
A few more fan questions here. Oh man. Okay, hold on. Let's go with this one. There's so many great ones here. Remco, how do you come up with the close-up magic parts? Like, how do you? I mean, I feel like you have to modify the trick for the distance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like, and if people don't know, like in the show, in magic, there's a genre of magic. There's like stage magic, illusions, and then there's close-up magic. And, you know, obviously as you were brainstorming bits from the show, new pitches, that puns are a fun wordplay way to come up with funny things. So close-up magic always seemed funny, doing magic 2 inches from somebody's face. And I think what I did is we mined all the magic out there, and the magic kind of that exists in history that is too small to do, you know, for someone on the other side of the couch. It's just too small. You have to zoom in really tight. Well, we can finally do those super tiny tricks. So it was a chance to do magic that really you kind of need to get close for, magnifying glass style. Yeah.
There's a lot of people asking about tours and things. Someone was asking about coming to Brazil I mean, I feel like we can't really right now. There's no travel plans, but is that something you would love to do again? Would you get back on the road?
Dude, I was supposed pre-corona. I was supposed to be on tour right now, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
miss being on stage. Being live on stage, doing live tours is my bread and butter. It's what kind of makes me feel alive. So I do miss that a lot. As soon as it's safe, I want to scour the globe. I want to definitely go to Brazil. I would love that. I need to get up to Canada more because it was really, really fun. And I'm overdue for a trip to the UK and Australia and all over Europe. I'm never going to see my child again, I think, once it's clear. No, I'm going to bring him along because he's a roadie. It's free labor.
There you go. He can
Yeah.
put him to work. Well, we'll find a job.
Pull him out of a bag. Yeah, Toronto, Egypt. I see people are saying I need to. Toronto's on the books here soon. Egypt. That would be. I need to do that.
Dude, we would love
Singapore.
to have you. We have a follow-up for this close-up magic, which is something I've been actually wondering too. Do you give people a heads up before the close-up magic? Do you give them a warning? Do they know what's coming?
No warning. Nothing. No warning.
Okay,
Which
I
means
love that.
which means
so
I like
more.
you know like I'll have a few when you're shooting magic out in the streets. It's kind of like fishing because you never know if all right, is it this one trick that's going to be the one that gets a great reaction, or if someone's really good, I might say, do you want to stick around? Can I show you something else? But with the close-up magic, once they're hip to it, you know, they're going to flinch early. So that's part of the awkwardness.
This is true.
Awkward is funny. And yeah, I don't want to tell them what I'm doing ahead of time. And they get pretty, you saw one guy kind of really got a little uncomfortable, you know.
I love it. I love it so much more now knowing that these people have no idea it's coming.
No idea.
Now, there's another question here I just saw. Oh, here we go. There's a few of these similar questions. This one from Annabelle. What is your favorite magic trick? Do you have a favorite trick, one that you look back on that you're maybe more, you're like damn proud of, or are they like your children where you just really can't choose a favorite?
I mean, they are kind of like my children, but there's like certain ones that I just that came out exactly as kind of like I envisioned them, or certain ones that took a lot of time in the development. For example, in season 1, we did a bit where I lured people into the back of a van. I told them we were shooting a documentary about conspiracy theories. Mm-hmm. And I talked to them about a baloney theory about how the government microchips people, which I do not believe they do, but people do believe that and are very quick to tell you they believe it if they think you believe it. And I tell them I have a device that'll remove the microchip. And basically, the original concept for this idea was to do psychic surgery, which is this old kind of magic routine that's based on kind of a fake pseudoscience where they're kind of making it look like they're pulling the bad stuff out of your body. So I wanted to do a psychic surgery with microchips, and then I stumbled upon the perfect device to convince people was doing the magic. I have it right here. This is
okay.
it looks like it looks like a fancy high-tech device, and I'm sure certain viewers might know exactly what
I think Austin Powers was cryogenically frozen with one of those.
It's a Swedish made penis enlargement pump. And I swear I have this for magic, Mom. It's for magic tricks.
Well, it is magical. I mean, it is magic in a way.
It really works. So that was one of my favorites because we were originally going to do that idea for a Comedy Central pilot that I did called Sleight of Mouth, and we just couldn't get the trick to look right, and then we finally did. So it was a favorite, but I do love all of them for different reasons.
Okay, well, I don't want to keep you too much longer. We got like one more question here, and this is I've seen a few similar questions. Someone was asking about any like bloopers or anything that maybe went sideways while filming that you would want to call out, but also Lindsay wants to know what's the most annoying thing as a magician. So maybe let's end on that. What do you? I mean, I feel like it's got to be the magic puns. Like, do you get a lot of like people, asking you if your favorite song is like Magic by the Cars or like, do you have a favorite song with magic in it, by the way?
Do I? Oh, let me think. That's a good question. Favorite song with magic. I mean, Black Magic Woman is a good song.
Abracadabra, Steve Miller.
Abracadabra by Steve Miller.
Yeah.
I can't tell. I used that song like for my act when I was a teenager, and I don't know if it's a good song or not, or if I just liked it because it has magic in it. Love and Spoonful. Oh, it's magic.
Yeah.
Magic Man by Heart, I think is.
Ooh, That's
That's
a
a
good one.
really good song. That's a really good song. That'd be my favorite Magic song. Bloopers, real quick to answer your question. We were doing a bit for season 2 where I would give people milk for their coffee by using a breast pump and pumping it out of myself because I was a new dad, you know, and I was jealous about how my wife was able to produce milk out of her body. And this one guy was just like so funny and like slapping me on the back and was like, milk it, give it to me, daddy. And I was like, this is going to be so good for the show. But it was hidden camera, so we didn't have him sign a release till afterwards. And afterwards, when he found out it was a TV show, he's like, I can't sign this. I'm a priest, and it will be really bad for my life. So I was like, I get it. Okay, bummer. So that was a blooper that unfortunately no one will ever see. People, magic cliches, you get a lot by just like really kind of hacky, lame
I feel like
dudes.
anytime you do something, they're like, "Oh, look at him! He's working his magic over there." Like,
Working
you know,
his magic. People always say like, "Hey, can you make my wife disappear?" Which is so awful on many levels. And also, the answer is yes, and they don't even want an answer. And I think normally she kind of, if she's married to him, she kind of wants to disappear out of that marriage. So I'm here to help those creepy guys lose their wives and lead those women to freedom. Also, you get kind of, hey, can you make Corona disappear? I do get that a lot. And no, I can't. But, and people always ask my wife, you know, is it magic in the bedroom?
Oh, God.
You know, they get that. And no, it's not, unfortunately.
Well, because people often refer to, I remember the days of cribs as the bedroom is where the magic happens. But for
this
you,
is where the magic. For me, this is
world.
where the magic happens.
Look at that.
This is like the magic lab. Yeah, the bedroom is where sleeping happens.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad we clarified. And before we wrap, doing the show and tell thing. We've showed a few things already, but is there any last items you'd want to show and tell? I feel like you're sitting in an amazing collection.
I'm sitting in a room of show and tell. Let's see here. We've got, well, these are some of my favorite little things from the show. This is from season 2, the multitasking bit. This is the genius helmet. This is from season 2, the book. The library let me keep that with the word Alice that appeared. There's the Jack in the Box. But, you know, and you mentioned this at the beginning, and I'm really proud of it. This is the social distancing magician starter kit. The words are backwards now, so I'll hold it this way. And early in quarantine, I put together this magic kit with 10 of my favorite tricks to raise money for COVID-19 relief. And people, we've raised a ton of money. I think we've sold over 1,500 of these kits. And I get videos every day from parents filming their kids doing magic shows over Zoom and stuff. So it really warms my heart and it's really fun. So if anybody wants to get one of these, you can get them at justinwillman.com. And you might get really good and get your own Netflix series. And I will become unemployed again. And I'll be joining Tanner in the van.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll be your driver.
It's seat 7, so we've got space. But dude, you're so amazing at what you do, and I think going back to what Lucy said in the comments, she said, Justin, you are the best at what you do. So entertaining and provide so much love with the lessons you teach through it all. Amazing to watch, and I think you know what, on behalf of everybody, just thank you so much for
thank you.
More magic into our lives, because I think this is the time. I know for me and a lot of other people too, the fact that season 3 hit when it did, everyone's at home in this, you know, quarantine and this pandemic, it was like medicine for the soul. So thank you so much, man.
You're so welcome. Yeah, making the show is medicine for my soul, so it's nice when it is medicine for yours. Hey, real quick, and we didn't set this up, you could attest. 52 cards in a deck. Before we started, and I was like 90 seconds late because I was trying to make a prediction, I put one card the opposite way in this deck. Name a random card. Name any card. First one that comes to your mind.
Two of clubs.
2 of clubs. We did not set this up, correct?
No.
Check this out. In the deck, one card facing the other way, right here. One card. You could have said any card. You said the two of clubs.
You know what? Here's the thing with that is I had a different card and I changed it. I changed it to that.
I know.
I was going to say
Tanner,
4 diamonds, and then I changed it
exactly.
to 2 of clubs.
I know. I've done enough research. I know you're indecisive, and you kind of really like to try to stump the person. So didn't work this time, my friend.
Oh, that's incredible, man! Wow, that's mind blowing, dude. You're like the best friend to have at like parties and everywhere in life. Like, do you do that like where do you break out your magic in key locations? I feel like, you know, you get pulled over, speeding ticket. You could probably get, you know, huh?
That you should always have a deck of cards in your glove compartment. Just magic does tend to put a smile on people's face, interrupts the pattern, and makes their day, and they tend to treat you better. So another good reason to learn magic.
There you go.
So
you might end up getting banned at most casinos probably for it, but
it's worth it. It's worth it.
It's worth it.
They're smoke filled. It's beer. You don't need to go there.
It's all good, buddy. Well, thank you so much. And for everybody who tuned in to check it out, all the love in the comments. I saw Brazil, all over the world, Canada, the U.S., Texas. We've been seeing you, and thank you so much. And Justin Willman, thank you so much. Everyone go watch season 3 and get yourself an amazing magic kit and support a great cause at justinwillman.com. So thanks, buddy.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
All right, take care.
You too. Bye-bye.